If a show is canceled and nobody notices, was it ever really canceled or did it ever exist? Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Afterpreneur. Welcome to my media channel where we talk about physical media streaming and even little news items like this. And maybe this will also go on my iCritic channel because this is kind of like a double story thing. The problems with having multiple channels. But anyway, Futurama. This is an interesting show for me. I have to be honest, and I guess I should preface up front by saying I am not a huge Futurama fan. I mean, it's fine. It's never been a particularly awful show. It's not terrible or anything like that. But I've never been in love with it the way other people have. I never liked Fry. I always thought his Homer Simpson-esque type personality was kind of weird. I don't know why he had to basically be Homer Simpson in the future, when the future to a present guy would create enough, confusion than adding the fact he was already stupid. I don't know. It was never really that interesting. But, I can see why it has a fan base. It's funny at times, and it has some smart commentary. And Futurama is actually at its best when it's being serious and dramatic and heartfelt of all things. Like, the episode with Fry's dog is still probably one of the most heartbreaking pieces of animation in the last 5 minutes that you will probably ever see. And the show has been canceled and revived more times than Family Guy. It had a 4 to 5 season run on Fox, depending on who you ask, was canceled for a few years, then it was revived as a bunch of direct-to-video DVDs, and then it was revived again on Comedy Central, and now Hulu has ordered 2 more seasons, although there is a huge caveat. Before we talk about that caveat, though, please consider subscribing to our channel, The Afterpreneur Media. We would like to hit 1,000 subscribers for the end of the year, and I think we could do that. I think that's possible. We don't have to have 1 million subscribers within a short amount of time, but we would like at least 1,000. Just enough to get some pocket change so we can buy Shiba Inu coin and Dogecoin. But anyway, so let's talk about this Futurama revival on Hulu. And I'm going to state up front as my chinchilla starts running on the wheel, so sorry for that noise. I'm not sure how much I actually care. In fact, dare I say it, even though I don't care that much about Futurama itself, the final episode of Futurama, at least on the Comedy Central side, is one of the best series finales I have ever seen to a TV show. Bar none, one of the best. Top 5. If you are going to end a TV show on a high note, this is how you end it. And I'm not going to spoil it other than to say it involves some time travel and a very memorable, you want to go around one more time? I mean, it just beautiful. And Futurama has had a few endings, and some of them were good, some were not so good, but this one, the final one, I thought was like, yeah, that's perfection. Don't mess with it anymore beyond that. But of course they're going to mess with it, because why not? Rebooting, reviving, that is the name of the game, especially when it comes to streaming. And now Disney owns Fox. Disney owns Futurama. I know that's a weird concept to think about. And Disney wants to bring people to subscribe to Disney Plus and Hulu. So Hulu has revived the series. I guess this is one of the ways that Disney is going to drive subscribers to Hulu. Why is The Simpsons okay for Disney Plus but not Futurama? Heck if I know. I mean, basically the same show as far as I'm concerned. But it's coming back. It's coming back. But the big catch that I've been alluding to for 4 minutes and kind of delaying on is that Bender will not be voiced by actor John DiMaggio. At least not yet. For the record, this could very well change, but as of the moment, John DiMaggio is not attached to the show, and they are seeking a replacement. And obviously, fans are not happy about that. So let's take a look at this article from Cartoon Brew. Futurama is being rebooted for the 3rd time, this time at Hulu. The streamer has ordered 20 new episodes of the cult sci-fi comedy. The season is going into production this month and is set to premiere in 2023. So, if you know how long it takes to make animation, you know that they basically revived it and they are hitting the ground running making this thing, because it takes a lot longer than that normally to get a full season on the ground. So they might even be premiering the first season while they're still finishing episodes in the first season. But anyway, creator Matt Groening is on board, as is David X. Cohen, who developed the series with him. Much of the original cast is returning too, including Billy West as pizza delivery boy Philip J. Fry, Katie Segal as Mutant Leela, and Maurice LaMarche, Lauren Tom, Phil Lamar, and David Herman. Conspicuously absent is John DiMaggio as Bender, the chain-smoking robot. And by the way, Bender's last name is Rodriguez. So, can you tell that's one of the reasons I am a fan of Bender, aside from the fact he's just awesome. The actor has apparently failed to strike a deal with the producers. Deadline reports that, quote, while his roles are currently being recast ahead of the first table read on Monday, there is still a desire on both sides for him to return. So basically what this is probably coming down to is money. The producers probably offered him some money, and DiMaggio does not believe that he's being paid enough. Now, this is something that the Groening team has done before. This is nothing new. I mean, there have been several disputes with the voice actors of The Simpsons, and recasting is usually used as a bargaining chip. Because here's the thing, there are great impersonators out there. There really are. There's a reason the guy who voices Dracula in Hotel Transylvania 4, whatever that one on Amazon is, I think his name is Brian Hull or something like that. I don't know. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But he replaced Adam Sandler as Dracula. And I bet most people didn't even notice, because he sounds so close to an Adam Sandler impersonation of Dracula. And Bender has such a unique voice that he's probably replaceable. I mean, Billy West has actually gone on record stating that with Philip J. Fry, when he voices him, he actually includes more of a natural voice from him than most of his characters, because he wants to make it difficult for that voice to be recast. It's a lot harder to impersonate a natural voice than it is a created voice. You know, voice actors can do amazing things with their vocal cords. So, I bet you they made an offer. DiMaggio said, too little money. Producers are saying, all right, we're going to start recasting to kind of push the issue. Now, the one thing that they might not have counted on, because this was when they would threaten to recast Simpsons voice actors, for the most part, with the recent exception of Harry Shearer basically deciding not to come back to The Simpsons until late in the game, all these threats of we're going to recast you were done without social media. And social media is not happy. Bender is trending, and you see tweets like this. Carlos Ferro says, Bender is the John DiMaggio. The John DiMaggio is Bender, period. And the actor himself even retweeted, thanks for the concern and the props, everyone. I really appreciate it. Don't worry, I'll keep you posted. But until then, cheese it. You may have noticed that even I, the one and only, decided to get in on the whole thing. As you can see, Bender's trending. And I said, don't care if the John DiMaggio isn't involved. Now, again, in all fairness, I don't care anyway. But, I think it's kind of a crummy thing to replace a voice actor like this. I mean, he really did do a good job as Bender, so why wouldn't I throw my support behind him? Especially since my chances of watching the show aren't any better or worse than if they do recast him. So I might as well throw my support behind him. So, as this article points out, with or without him, the season will be produced by Disney's 20th television animation. The animation will be provided by Rough Draft Studios, which worked on past seasons of Futurama, as well as shows like Star Wars, Clone Wars, Drawn Together, and Disenchantment. By the way, I love this quote by David X. Cohen, who says, I'm thrilled to have another chance to think about the future, or really anything other than the present. That's pretty awesome. So, anyway, yeah, Futurama's coming back, but it's a huge question mark whether John DiMaggio will return to voice Bender. A personal suspicion of mine that this is what I believe will happen. Don't take this to the bank. I believe the producers and DiMaggio will make a deal to come back. Not because of Twitter pressure, but because he knows the role, he's good at it, and it just kind of makes sense to do it. So I think he'll be back. I think he's going to have to accept a slightly lower salary. You also have to keep in mind that the studio is kind of in the driver's seat now, because it's not going to be on television. This is a show that's been canceled a couple times. Whenever you're bringing back a canceled show, producers kind of put the show in a "you're lucky to be back" mentality box. And so they can kind of use that against the actors. And what's going to be especially hard for the actors if they are hoping for pay raises is that if the Futurama reboot is a success, you'll know it because it's been renewed. How much of a success it is, you won't know because Disney will not want to share those numbers. And they want to do it because they want to keep contract negotiations like this in check. So we won't know how many people watch it, how long they watch it, and even if it's the #1 watch show in the world, without advertisers, it's kind of a moot point. Now, since it is on Hulu, Hulu does have ads, so maybe that will give the actors some leeway, because if they start seeing advertisers paying $500,000 for an ad spot on Futurama, they can probably assume that the Futurama revival is a huge, huge hit. But until that happens, basically the voice actors and the production team and the producers, they're all at the mercy of Disney right now. But anyway, that is where we are going to leave this story. My question to you is, are you looking forward to the Futurama reboot, and will you watch it if John DiMaggio is not Bender? I mean, personally, I think if they find a voice actor that sounds exactly like him, no one's really going to care. But I also believe in supporting voice actors like this, and I think they're going to come to an agreement. Personally, that's what I believe. But I'd love to know what you think. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.